his story to read, and he went in to visit the kids in the English classroom at Astor and read their stories, and he was like, oh, why would I read that dorky story my wife gave me when I can read stories from the kids? So it has become my favorite part of the show, and you're a sweetheart.
Aww. I mean, I can't beat that introduction.
Yeah, make it happen!
Thank you. Hey. Ooh. All right, this first story is titled Untitled, and it's by Ava. And now I've known Ava. All these kids we've known for a while, and she's a friggin' hoot. I was in the other day working with her on this, and somehow a bug got into the room, and she took off her shoe and was throwing it all over the room. And I'm like, it's a fly. Calm it down. Anyway, whole nother story. Untitled by Ava. It was a dark and stormy night. Ooh. The wind was howling through the empty trees. A little boy was running barefoot through the dark street. He ran away from home. He was trying to escape. Little did he know, but his dad was really Hades. I mean, who doesn't want to leave that? Whoa. Word? If he wants to free his father, then he must end his own life. Okay, now let's go back 10 years. He's 10 now. Let's go back to when he was a baby. What happened was his mom got kidnapped by these people in hoods. I know. Knowing they knocked her out, they put her in a sack, and then they put her in a store. In a store. Look, you're just gonna have to go with this.
Mikey started going back to his text to be like, what is he reading exactly?
Try being me. She didn't know what it was at that time, but as the boy grew up, she saw more signs. She loved that boy so much. Once the boy turned 10, she got married. Okay, so she was a baby, but now she's got a 10-year-old, so I'm gonna guess she's like 20-something years old, right? Or something. Oh no, 30, because she's got a 10-year-old. But at the wedding, but she got married, but at the wedding, we're just kind of flipping around. This is gonna be awesome. At the wedding, the preacher said some super weird words. They thought that he was speaking gibberish, but a couple days later, her new husband, she said, husband. I'm so glad that the peanut gallery is gonna correct me.
Husband, ooh.
When in doubt. Look, she said to her new husband, I think you ought to get acquainted with Damien, my son. So her husband, Cody, he went to bond with Damien. He walked up the stairs, but then the lights, they started flickering. He tried to open the door, it was locked. He said, Damien, bud, can I come in? He said it 3 or 4 times. Damien, bud, can I come in? 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 The door unlocked. He jumped. He was startled, but he said, okay. Cody, that's the husband's name, he walked into the room, slow as can be. He looked everywhere, but Damien, he was nowhere to be found. There was just static on the TV. Now, out of nowhere, he saw Damien come and go. It was really super scary, and there was no way to explain it. And after he came and went, he walked out of the bathroom.
Damien's a freak!
Staticky TV was a welcome sight. Little kid, Damien, sat on his knees in front of that staticky TV. He was holding the teddy bear he had since he was 4 months old. Cody walked up to the boy, tapped him on the shoulder. Damien turned around as fast as he could and glared at Cody with yellow eyes. In the silence, the bear said in a terrifying voice, "Leave me alone." Cody ran out as fast as he could, down the stairs, tumbled to the ground. That night when he went to bed, he was woken by the sound of footsteps, but no one was there. He closed his eyes. When he looked up again, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. Damien was there staring at him with his freaky yellow eyes. Damien hit Cody in the head with a bat. Put him in a bag and dragged him outside, probably to the store. In the morning, his darling wife, Elizabeth, woke up to pat him on the back and get him ready to go to work. Cody woke up, he was in a dark place. There was fire all around him. A huge dude with a painted tail, 6 feet long, enormous goat horns and gigantic black hooves was cackling down at him. Cody woke up. He said, "Oh, thank God, that was just a terrifying dream." Thank you, Ava. You're never going to be able to sleep tonight. All right, this one is titled Demons, Demons Go Away. This is by my friend Kyrie, who, if I'm not mistaken, was up here last year. Right? Didn't Kyrie come up here last year? Maybe not, no. The whistle of the cold, blurry wind brushing by my red face. The glistening stove looking like glitter. Every angel, you go. Footprints from your shoes every time you walk in the snow. If you ever noticed, a sick design will show. Step after step, my footprint disappears. I just kept walking because I really did care. I heard a cackling sound under the snow. I was starting to get scared. I felt like I'd been stalked by a deadly, scary stare. I turned around. There was nothing. I got very suspicious. There's a knocking at my window. The siding looks vicious. I tell myself that nightmare is finished. I tell the demon, "You friggin' skirmish?" That's what it says. I'm gonna talk to his teacher. He looked me in the eye and the cackling came again. The demon got sent by some evil sin. I pray to God he'd never come again. Years pass by, I'm doing my homework on a late night. The sound comes back again. It was Christmas Eve. There was cackling, but it was just hail smacking against the window. I raised my eyebrow. I told myself to snap out of it. I did my work. I turned around. I looked at myself in the mirror, posing. And then I see something in the corner. Something strange. It stopped snowing. But the cackling, it continued. I was confused. The sighting wasn't clear. It was a creature with arms longer than its legs, two humongous horns out of its head, and skinny, long fingers. I get a flashback. I remember. That's the creature that I've seen by the window. I turned back away from the mirror, but it wasn't there. I turn to the mirror, and I see it again. Is it in the mirror? I ask myself. I start moving back. The trees are swaying rapidly. I continue moving back. The lights in the house flicker. Doors creaking, cabinets opening and closing by themselves. It quickly flew to me and started choking me, and it said, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." Solid. Okay. Now this one, skip it a couple. Oh, this one. I'm going to read this one. This is another kid that we've known for 3 years, Josue. Every time I see this kid, he asks me if he can have my Rolex. And then I saw him last week, and he was like, "Do you have The Rock's phone number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got The Rock's phone number. Can I have it?" I'm like, I don't know, that's a good idea. And he's like, "I won't give it to anybody." No, dude, then you should give me your Rolex. And when we first met Josue, he wouldn't talk to us. Josue, he's come a long way, and yeah, it's super cool. So anyway, I asked him to, help a brother out and give me a story, and this is what he's got. It's titled Ghost Stories. That may not be the title. That could be for the event, but let's go with it. I woke up in the snow. I had a firework in my hand and it went boom. I couldn't move. I was stuck. My hand exploded into thousands of pieces. Blood and flesh were everywhere. My friend who I'm with says, "Hey, call the Walking Dead people. Put it back together or, hit you over the head with Lucille." That's the wire bat that belongs to Negan. So I call up Negan. "Negan, come back and get these zombies before I kill them all." So Negan, he comes back with Lucille and he kills all the zombies. The zombies fall on their faces, guts are everywhere. All of a sudden, vultures come and they start eating the dead flesh. That's disgusting. And it had a bad smell.
Ooh, that's me.
The birds died when they finished eating. More birds started to come and fly around. The birds started to eat the dead birds. Negan started to walk around and he spotted 9.2 million zombies. Luckily, he found a gun and he started to shoot the zombies. And then he saw a plane on the side of the road. And inside the plane, Negan finds an FBB 5000 bomb. I'm gonna tell you this, all those zombies, they drop like fleas. After the bomb dropped, it turned to snow ash, and it was winter. Josue. All right, I'm going to read a little, this is a story that the kids in this class that helped us out, they loved it. And I'm gonna give it a go. It's called Hairy Toe. Who's it written by, Hill?
Schlosser.
Yeah, Schlosser. S.E. Schlosser?
S.E. Schlosser.
Yeah, okay, so Hairy Toe. And this is for the kids, because they love the story. Once there was an old woman who went out into the woods to dig up some roots to cook for dinner. She spotted something funny sticking out of the leaves and dug around until she uncovered. She spotted something funny sticking out of the leaves and dug around until she uncovered a great big hairy toe. Now there was some good meat on that toe. It was like a real tasty dinner. So the old woman put it in the basket and took it home. When she got back to her cottage, the old woman boiled up a kettle full of hairy toe soup, which she ate for dinner that night. It was the single best meal that she'd had in weeks. The old woman went to bed that night with a full stomach and a big old smile.
She was starving. Everybody relax.
Now, along about midnight, a cold wind started blowing in the tops of the trees around the old woman's house. A large black crowd crept over the moon from the woods, and a hollow voice rumbled, "Hairy Toe, Hairy Toe, I want my hairy toe back." Inside the house, the woman stirred uneasily in her bed, nervously pulled the covers up over her ears. From the woods, there came a stomp, stomp, stomping noise as the wind whistled and jerked at the treetops. In the clearing at the edge of the forest, a hollow voice said, "Hairy Toe, Hairy Toe, I want my hairy toe." Inside the house, the old woman shuddered and turned over in her sleep. Stomp, stomp, stomp sound came from the garden path outside the cottage. The night creatures shivered in their holes and a hollow voice howled, "Hairy toe! Hairy toe, I want my hairy toe back." Inside the house, the old woman snapped awake. Her whole body shook with fright as she listened to the angry howling in the garden. Jumping out of bed, she ran to the door, barred it closed. Once the cottage was secure, she lay back down to sleep. Suddenly, the front door of the cottage burst open with a bang, snapping a bar in two and sending it flying into the corners of the room. Then came the stomp, stomp, stomp noise of giant feet walking up the stairs. Peeking out from underneath the covers, the old woman saw a massive figure filling her doorway. "Hairy toe, hairy toe, I want my hairy toe." The old woman sat bolt upright in terror and shouted,
I ate your hairy toe!
"Yes, you did!" The giant figure said very gently. "Oh shit. I mean, yes, you did." The giant said very gently. As he advanced into the room. No one living in the region ever saw the old woman again. The only clue to her disappearance was a giant footprint a neighbor found pressed deep into the loose soil of the meadow beside the house. The footprint? Oh yeah. It was missing a big hairy toe.